'cause I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay. It's time to live
Tonight we will pay our respects to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Don't forget though, we have a job to do on the pitch, and that is of course beating the team that will visit us for the first time ever in the league. That's Forest Green Rovers. They are in fact in the third tier of English football for the first time ever themselves, having been crowned as League Two champions back in April, and they've had a steady start to the new campaign. A big win for us tonight though, and results go our way elsewhere could take us back into the playoff positions. This is just some of what we got coming up before kick-off. We'll hear exclusively from manager Ben Garner, who will be looking for a reaction from his side following the defeat at Bolton 10 days ago. We'll also hear from author Jen Offord, whose new book, The Year of the Robin, I'm delighted to say is sponsoring tonight's Charlton TV production. And we'll also have a watch of new signing Terrell Thomas's first Addicts interview. The former academy graduate, of course, rejoined the club on a free transfer just last week. We are streaming live everywhere in the world tonight on Charlton TV, including the UK and Ireland, so everyone has the opportunity to see the legend that is Alan Curbishley. Curbs, you good?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, good.
Brilliant. And we'll also see this man.
Fortune, it's wriggled its way in. They have to defend now, though. Oh, they haven't. And Charlton are straight back into the game. The handsome split and the finish from Jonathan Fortune. There's Fortune!
The speed. And Charlton has gone with an equaliser. It's Jonathan Fortune.
Play towards the back post and Fortune got there! Well, is that the goal that's going to keep West Bromwich Albion up? 2-2. Late goal for Charlton Athletic. And this, you sense his way.
It's a catalogue of errors.
Welcome back, John Fortune. John, I mean, Fortune, do you ever get tired of watching that? I mean, it was so good, we had to have 2 replays.
Don't get any goals in the centre half. When you do see, I was just shocked that I'm so angry after every goal.
Some special goal that though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was happy days.
I bet he was more happy with the left footers.
Yeah, you see, little fox in the box there.
A couple of left foot finishes.
Hard and low.
Yeah,
absolutely. How you been? Good summer? We know you're in the agency business, so now's the time, bit of downtime, or are you still working?
Downtime. We finished in, obviously, getting the deals over the line in September, so last weekend went away, just enjoyed myself a couple of hours, so I got a little...
It's 10 of you, wasn't it, to Barcelona?
Yeah, little cheeky
messy.
weekend. Little cheeky weekend. Growing up man now, Scott, so do things the right way.
Absolutely. Look, we've had a change in the dugout, a lot of changes on the pitch since you were last with us on Charlton TV. Have you seen much of the new look, Charlton?
I was here for the first game of the season against Derby, which was a story of 2 games. The first half wasn't so great, and then the second half we come out and was very good. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the team's developed since then. Absolutely.
Curbs, despite the game being off Saturday, you and I have seen each other 3 times in the last 5 days, haven't we?
more than my missus.
She's happy about that.
Absolutely.
But it's been good though. It's been a good couple of days, isn't it? We've had a couple of good golf days.
Yeah, we've had a couple of good golf days. I don't know how you played yesterday. How did you go?
I was all right at times, and then there was other holes. It was
no. I was just telling Forge I played really well yesterday. So I don't know if I can.
You're getting out.
I don't know how to keep it up.
So on Saturday it was like it was
Friday.
Both of them were charities. Friday, sorry, both of them were charity dues. One sort of Charlton related, and yesterday was
Pacific Cleaners.
Absolutely.
And yes, it was Bobby Moore. West Ham Bobby Moore day. Stephanie was there. So fantastic, didn't she?
She looked great.
There was a lot of West Ham fans and people that sponsored the day, and they really turn out for that.
Yeah, it was a really good day. Look, I mean, obviously we had the sad news last week of the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. We're told that she was a big fan of West Ham. Did you hear that?
No,
and back in the 70s as well, when you were playing. I mean, maybe she liked cultured midfielders who could never got out of the centre circle, but ran the game.
And Bowling.
Absolutely, yeah. Did you ever have the opportunity to meet her?
No, never met her. But I think John might have been around when we had Prince William come down. Do you remember when we had Prince William?
Training ground that day,
was
didn't
good, wasn't it? He's turned up because he was just going to go on to the FA, be president of the FA or whatever, and he's a big football fan, Villa fan, isn't he? And he wanted to join in. So we got him changed, didn't we? Got him, and Nick Davies was the fitness coach. And I think Luke Young went, really, let's step the warm-up up, right? Not just, go into it slowly. So apparently the boys got going, then I went like that, and he was on his haunches. The future king was like that, wasn't he? But
he won't forget that.
I was just standing.
I can't believe what they're doing, sir. I can't believe what they're doing.
he joined in, and he really enjoyed himself, didn't he?
Good guy, was he?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Look, I mean, it was meant to be back-to-back home games, wasn't it? Obviously, the game was called off against Exeter on Saturday. We've struggled away from home this season, so how important is our home form?
Not just talking to John over there in the lounge that obviously the game got called off on Saturday, but that was a big disappointment for me because 2 home games on the spin, 2 games that I think we've got to take 6 points. But then that would have cemented us in the top 6. But also sent the message out that this is a bit difficult to come to, and that's what we've got to get across. That I think it's been too easy over the last couple of seasons for the opposition, and no disrespect to Forest Green, they're going to enjoy this. They're going to turn up tonight, and our fans are going to turn up expecting us to win, and that ain't always easy, is it, as you know. But I thought with 2 home games could have laid down a little bit of a marker because that's where we got to win a majority of our points here.
Kerps makes a really good point, doesn't he, about. Forest Green will come here. This is almost like their Wembley, isn't it? Of course. So the fans will be thinking we should be winning this game and winning it easily. From a player's point of view, how did you approach those games? Added pressure? Or
Yeah, I think these games are the most difficult one, especially when you're at a bigger club, because when things don't go so right on the pitch, you tend to hear the groans a bit more. When the stadium's full up, you don't hear it as much. But them games where the stadium's not so filled, that little misplaced pass and there's you can see it just spreading through the team sometimes. So you need to get on a good start.
But you know as well as I do, we was in Forest Green's position some time ago, where we go to the big boys and knew that we could upset them if we set about it right, and had nothing to lose, if you know what I mean. We've heard that so many times, but yeah, you know, the underdogs, and that's certainly what I think Forest Green are tonight. Correct. And we've just got to make sure we take care of it.
Absolutely. Kick-off less than 45 minutes away. So much to come before that. But let's get straight to Ben Garner, shall we, who spoke to Terry Smith yesterday morning.
Back in action at the Valley on Tuesday night. We obviously had no match at the weekend following the passing of the Queen. How much are you looking forward to getting back out there?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I think we had a fantastic week on the training ground last week. Players were really chomping at the bit, so I'm looking forward to seeing them unleashed, if you like, tomorrow evening now after a couple of extra days obviously waiting around and preparing for this game. So spirits are good. They've trained really well. Some tough decisions in terms of starting lineup and squad for me, but a really pleasing week.
We were all disappointed following the defeat at Bolton last time out. What conclusions have you drawn from that game, having had 10 days to mull it over?
Yeah, we had a meeting early part of last week and some really good discussions, both staff and players, to not put it to bed, but to learn from it, identify ways that we move forward and to ensure it doesn't happen again, basically. And that was a really productive meeting. From that point on, as I say, they've trained brilliantly. Intensity's been great, quality's been great, competition's been great. So yeah, we've wiped that away. We've taken the lessons, but we've moved forward, and really looking forward to getting going again now.
We've been excellent at home so far this season, with 4 wins from 5 in all competitions. What's been the key to that?
I think the performance of the players, first and foremost. I think the atmosphere at the ground has played a big part as well. Supporters have been fantastic. Feels a really strong unity there. Even in the EFL Trophy game, I thought it was fantastic with the young players, the way the crowd were towards them, and the appreciation that was shown. And that's what it's all about for me. It's about yes, what we do on the pitch, but also the atmosphere that's created from the stands. And I said from day one when I walked in the door, I think we need to come together as a football club and align and have a really strong sense of purpose and direction. And that's certainly been the case in the home games so far. We've had a great start in terms of results. And obviously we want to keep that going and be as strong as we can throughout the season.
Forest Green, last season's League 2 champions, and you would have faced them twice last year. What can we expect from them on Tuesday?
A good side, Forest Green. I think really progressive club that have moved up through the divisions over a number of years now and have done really well as a football club. Always recruit well, in my opinion. I think they use the market well. They've had a change of manager. They've had quite a few change of personnel from when I played against them last season, and they've played 2 or 3 different formations this year. So I would say unpredictable in terms of how they will start the game, in terms of personnel and shape. But got some good footballers in there. They've got some good versatility. They've been using a long throw well and putting both centre halves up in the game last week against Accrington in particular. So yeah, they're a good side that have proved that with their progression through the leagues. They'll now be looking to stabilise themselves as a League One club, but very much the onus on us. You know, we're the home team. We want to attack the game. We're showing them every respect, but from the first whistle, we're out there to win the game.
And finally, a win will cement our place in the top half of the table. How hopeful are you of keeping that good home form going ahead of 2 tough away trips?
Yeah, we want to win every game. You know, we want to keep that home form going, but I'm very keen to get that first away win on the board in the league as well. As I've said a couple of times, we don't set up differently, home and away. So Forest Green at home Tuesday to Fleetwood away Saturday. It won't be, well, we want to win this one and we'll take a point there Saturday. No, we want to win both games. That'll be our mindset in both. And for me, it's just about winning as many games and getting as many points on the board as we can. Thank you.
Well, home and away, we want to win. And Kerps, that is an interesting side there, isn't it? 6 changes. Richard Chin makes his first league start at left-back. Ryan Innes is back from injury. Jack Payne and Conor McGrandles come into midfield. Corey Blackett-Taylor starts, as does Lee Byrne.
Absolutely, yeah.
Miles Lee Byrne, his first league start. Thoughts?
Well, I'm looking at the team, and I don't know what sort of manager Ben is. You know, does he explain to the players that he's left out why he's left them out, or does he just say this is the team and we're going to go? But they must have been training, looking towards the Exeter game. So if you're going to make that amount of changes, you need to implement that in training. So yeah, so there might have been a few interesting conversations going on there, especially the Stockley one, which is the big one, I think, if you're looking at it. But you know, Payne, I think the only one who's been left out, looks like he's not available, is Jackson. Frazier. But I like the look of Payne whenever he's come on. McGrandles has been brought in actually to take Dobson's place. So this is an interesting one. But listen, he shook it up. He must have been really angry after the Bolton game, and you know, the way we played and etc. And I think he set out a little bit of a statement that if you don't do it, I've got a squad and I'm not afraid to use it.
I like it. I have to say, I think we see in big teams and even smaller teams, the big players within the teams keep their place. And yet Miles is in here. I respect Jayden a lot, but Miles is playing better than Jayden. I mean, it's a great opportunity for a lot of lads here, isn't it, Forge?
Looking at the sheet there, it's a fantastic opportunity. It's an opportunity for Miles and Richard Ching. Like, see the young ones come in. You know, the club's got a great track record with producing young players and moving them on again. So it's an unbelievable opportunity for these. So I'm really excited to see Miles play. I think he's got great attributes, and they said he's taken his opportunities when he's had them. So this is the big one now.
He certainly has. Let's have a look at the league table and see where we currently sit right now. We are just about in the top half. We're 12th, but only 3 points off the playoffs. Ipswich leapfrog Portsmouth to take top spot on goal difference, despite Pompey also winning 10 days ago. Plymouth jumped to 3rd following that stunning comeback at Derby, who dropped to 9th. Cambridge are 5th, having maintained their 100% home record last Saturday, got the better of Lincoln. And Peterborough in that 6th position where we want to be. Kerps, look, Cambridge, one or two smaller clubs who are punching above their weight in the top half there, but there's some big boys up there, isn't there?
There is, but I'll just look at we've had 7 games, and we've probably played against the top teams in them 7 games. You know, they're all in the shake-up at the moment. Yeah, I mean it's very early, isn't it? But as I said, with the projected 2 home games, that could have been a real opportunity to take 6 points. You know, Exeter and then tonight's game. So, yeah, what you said. Let's hope the results go for us. Let's get our one first.
Yeah.
But we've got to be threatening that top 6, and as I said, convincing result tonight will send a little bit of message out about our home form.
Absolutely. 7 clubs in the top half have played in the Premier League in the past. Only 3 promotion places up for grabs, of course. Does that indicate just how tough another season in League One will be?
We're sitting here knowing Charlton's history, but them other teams that have been in the Premier League feel the same way about us, don't they? So about their clubs. So they're looking at themselves like they're huge clubs who shouldn't be in League One. So, like Kerb said, the games Charlton have had already have been very tough. So with a new manager come in, you could look at it like it's been a decent start. Now it's time to kick on.
Absolutely. Look, before we move on, we should also add that tonight's opponents, Forest Green, may be in the relegation zone, but they're only 2 points behind us and therefore will go above us with a win.
Yeah.
OK, let's have a look at the fixture list tonight in League One, shall we? Because it is a full fixture list. Bottom of the table, Burton in action for the first time without Jimmy Floyd-Hasselbank. After he left last week, they face a very tough-looking fixture against second-place Portsmouth, who have won 5 league games on the bounce. League leaders Ipswich hope to consolidate their place at the summit, where they host Bristol Rovers at Portman Road. Sheffield Wednesday head to winless Morecambe, who are currently second bottom. Any fixtures that stand out for you, chaps?
Not particularly. I think that, you know, the big boys, the teams that we've been talking about in the top half, will fancy their chances tonight, I think, to get results.
That's big boys against little boys in some respects in many of these games.
That's why it's important we get ours done.
Forge were due to head to Fleetwood on Saturday. So far they've had 1 win, 1 defeat and 5 draws. Did you ever have one like that where you didn't lose but you couldn't win?
That's, it's a strange one, that, isn't it? Because they said you got a few points on the ball, but it's not nowhere near the points you're meant to have. So yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, or a full fixture list in League One this evening, but we just have to concentrate on our game. Let's get to club news now, shall we? And we start, of course, as we said at the top of the programme, the club will be paying its respects to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II tonight, who sadly passed away on Thursday evening. Before kick-off, everyone inside the Valley will be observing a period of silence before the national anthem is played, and both clubs' players will be wearing black armbands throughout the match too. May she rest in peace. Well, after tonight, the next action at the Valley comes on Sunday when the Charlton women's team welcome Birmingham to SE7 in the Barclays Women's Championship. Tickets are priced at just £10 for adults, a £5 for concessions. It's been a huge summer for women's football in this country, so please, if you can, get down to the Valley in your numbers and show your support for our women's side. You can get your tickets now by heading to booking.cafc.co.uk. Back to men's team ticketing, and you can make a saving on the price of match tickets by investing in our new Addicts 3-pack. The pack enables you to make one purchase and then select 3 home league fixtures that you would like to attend between now and Boxing Day. You don't have to select all 3 matches at the time of purchase. You can choose your games as and when you want to, and what's more, you will save £10 on the cost of getting 3 individual tickets. To purchase your Addicts 3-pack, please head to booking.cafc.co.uk. Now, if you're currently watching tonight's pre-show on social media, then please make sure you are listening very carefully to this. We are streaming tonight's game all over the world, so make sure you get your match pass now for just £10. The preview show will end on social media at kickoff. But if you purchase a live stream match pass and are watching on Charlton TV, then you can see the rest of the preview show, the whole game, and all of our half-time and post-match analysis. It's well worth it, I promise you, especially now we've got Forge instead of Brownie. And you can get your pass by heading to cafc.co.uk now. Supporters who are outside of the UK and Ireland are reminded that as well as buying match passes, they can also make a saving by getting a subscription for Charlton TV for just £220 per year or £35 per month recurring. That subscription will allow you to watch every men's first team league games and the Papa John's Trophy game live, as well as a host of other matches from our under-21s, under-18s and women's teams. The cost per match of the annual subscription breaks down to less than £5 a game, which is based on you only watching the men's first team league matches. Last season, Charlton TV streamed exactly 99 matches across the club's different teams, so you certainly get your money's worth with a subscription. Head to cafc.co.uk to get yours. Now, look at this. Isn't that nice? Everyone at Charlton TV would like to extend their big congratulations to Addicks midfielder Scott Frazier, whose partner Paige gave birth to baby girl Marley yesterday morning. Congratulations, guys. I mean, it's typical, isn't it? Paige does all the hard work and Scott takes all the glory there. He's not in the squad, but listen, well done, guys. And I don't know if it's your first. You will love them like no one else. But there will be so much hassle for you.
Still are.
Still are. How old's your eldest?
36.
36. It doesn't stop. OK, look, as regular watchers of Charlton TV will know, we love to speak to our international fans. Earlier this year, we were delighted to receive a message from South Korean fan Kyung-min Ji. Here's what he sent us.
안녕하세요. 저는 경미입니다. 한국에서 찰튼을 응원하고 지지하고 있습니다. 그리고 인터내셔널 어직스 팬그룹에 있습니다. 꼭 빌리에서 찰튼의 모두들과 함께하고 싶습니다. 오늘 모두들 최고의 멋진 경기를 바랍니다. Come on, your Reds.
That's absolutely brilliant. Curbs, thanks for doing the translation there, by the way. That's what we want, though, don't we? Addicts fans all over the world.
I was talking to, I was saying about the Bobby Moore Golf Day, but I was with some West Ham fans, like as my team, and I was telling them about the South London boy in Spain the other day. Wasn't it? That was great, wasn't it?
Fantastic.
You know, yeah. So
with a dog that wasn't his behind him.
Yeah, but him and his mates, they're probably in the pub now.
Yeah.
Because they said they go and watch it in the local pub, don't
Absolutely.
they? In Spain.
Yeah, brilliant. Great to hear from young Min there. And a reminder that if you want to speak to us on Charlton TV, please do. It's a lot of fun. We really enjoy it. Then get in contact by emailing fans@cafc.co.uk. Something else that's a lot of fun, Kerps, with you, Brownie and I, is answering questions on WhatsApp. So if you have one in, please send it in tonight. Brownie, of course, not in the studio tonight, but if you have a question for Kerbs, Forge or myself, the number on screen is 07384 517 580. Of course, if you're outside of the UK and Ireland, it is +44 and drop the 0. Forge, I imagine we may get a couple of questions for you about a certain goal you scored and we've already seen back in 2005. What do you think?
Definitely will.
Yeah. It WhatsApp it himself. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Brian Robson to send me a case of champagne after that. Well,
we kept West Brom up.
West Brom up,
Absolutely,
nothing.
Yeah, of course,
I played in the England youth team with him, so I'm a bit disappointed with that.
OK, let's have a look at the Charlton under-21s then, shall we, and see how they got on. Fought back from 2-0 down, secure a dramatic draw against Colchester in Professional Development League 2 yesterday afternoon. After a goalless first half, the Addicts found themselves 2-0 down within 10 minutes of the restart. Who else? Daniel Kanu's 5th goal of the season gave them hope before Sahid Kamara's stoppage time volley ensured that they earned a more than deserved point. And Charlton TV subscribers were able to watch every kick of the 4-goal thriller. A reminder, all the under-21 home league matches are streamed live on Charlton TV. Right, as I mentioned earlier, delighted to say that supporter Jen Offord is sponsoring tonight's production here on Charlton TV. Thank you very much, Jen. Her new book, The Year of the Robin, which features an interview with our very own Alan Curbishley, is available to purchase from Amazon, as well as a host of other bookstores. Who better to tell us a bit more about the book than Jen herself? She spoke to Charlotte Richardson, pitchside, a little earlier.
Thank you, Scott. I am delighted to be joined at the Charlton TV table by Jen Offord. Jen, we're here to talk about your book, The Year of the Robin. First things first, tell us how it all came about.
It came about in a very, well, slightly long-winded way, but in a nutshell. Basically, obviously, we were promoted from League One to the Championship at the end of the 2018-19 season, and I was very excited about what had happened. I've been away from the club for a while. I would call myself a life-ish long addict. I've been a fan since I was 14, and I was really excited about what had happened. I became convinced that we were on our way back to Premier League glory, rightly or wrong, well, wrongly as it transpired. And so I was sort of saying to my brother, I think we should get season tickets. Really excited about what's going to happen at the club now. And he sort of said to me, well, you know, I'm not sure it's going to be necessarily this utopia that you imagine in the Championship, right? And I basically got a bit drunk one night and I bought us both season tickets. So initially it was just going to be to sort of chart what happened that season. But obviously that season was the season that from a writer's perspective just kept giving. From a fan's perspective, not so much.
Well, on that note then, as you mentioned, the 2019-20 season was not a conventional one. What was it like to cover?
It was intense, but it was intense to live through, I think, for fans as well as people in general around the world, because it wasn't just what was going on at the club that was crazy. It was, you know, what was going on in the world. We're in the middle of a global pandemic and football had, you know, ceased. And also personally, I was pregnant at the time, so that was like another kind of dimension to it. It was a mad season to write about. There were so many different angles that I could have taken with it, and I did take quite a few of them as it transpires. But yeah, it was very, very intense to write about, but really fascinating as well, because I think it gives us an incredible insight into what football means to people, why it's important, why we love it, but also where it can do better as well, I think.
Well, it's really resonated not only with football fans and Charlton fans, but in the whole football community. Why do you think that is? Why do you think the book has touched upon so many themes for football fans?
I just think that's what I wanted to write. I was never going to write, you know, I'm not a really serious like statistician or tactician or anything like that. I'm really interested in what football and sport says about society and what it says about people. So I wanted to really look at what makes the club tick, what makes football tick in general, and as I said, you know, what's brilliant about it, but where we can do better as well. And I think it's just a time in the world where we are thinking about a lot of those things, like women's football, like homophobia in sport, like racism in sport. But also, I thought it was really important to look at the people around the club that do the sort of day-to-day stuff, like Tracy Lieber and like Jason Morgan, people who are involved here in the club and make it what it is.
You conducted a lot of interviews with a lot of different people from around the football club, as you say there. In particular, one interview that you were really excited about was with our very own Alan Curbishley. Why was that?
Because I can't really, I mean, what can I say without deeply embarrassing myself? Because he is Charlton, isn't he? Basically, I hope he'd be happy with me saying that.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
But yeah, he is just, you know, I started supporting the club in a serious way when I was about 14, in about 1998 roughly, a bit before then. Sorry, my maths is very bad. A bit earlier than that, but obviously shortly after I became sort of seriously interested in the club, we were promoted. What he's done at the club is fantastic, and I think more than I'd even appreciated as a sort of, I wouldn't, well, I'm going to be 40 this week, but as a younger fan compared to some of the others who lived through what happened. When I lived in Charlton, we weren't playing here. So I don't think I really appreciated how much he did in bringing the fans and the club together and getting us back into a good place. And obviously he got us into a great place, but I don't think I'd realise how big a sort of feat that actually was.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fascinating read. For any supporters who do want to purchase the book or get their hands on a copy, where can they go?
They can find it online at Amazon or Waterstones or really anywhere you buy your books from.
Brilliant. Well, I'm sure many Charlton supporters will be wanting to get their hands on a copy. Scott, back to you in the studio.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Great to hear from Jen there. Like all of us, she's clearly a big Alan Curbishley fan. And I can say here, what I've got in my hand is the book. No, not that book, Forge.
Oh, sorry.
That book. But she's signed.
Okay.
And apparently, she's put Dear Kerps.
All right.
And she's written a little message.
All right.
She was really nervous writing it.
Was she?
She was, apparently.
Looks like she was, look.
Show it up to the camera.
Well.
There you go.
There you go.
You're Carlos, not Kerbs. No, that's really nice.
Oh, lovely.
I mean, look, we're all an Alan Curbishley fan, but we won't admit to that too much. But let's talk about that season, shall we? The 1920 season, with the relegation of the Championship, the ownership craziness. We're looking from afar as well. But a lot to put in a book, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but what a turning point. Because I may have it, I don't know if I got it right here, but I think Brentford, they lost at home to Barnsley, didn't they?
That's right. Yeah.
They lost at home to Barnsley.
I was covering that last game.
And we got beat. I mean, we was at Leeds, which was going to be tough, but to go down that, we went down in the Premier League on the last game of the season, but we was fighting against it for some time. But Lee Bowyer's team wasn't fighting against it until the owners, etc., got involved, and you know. So I believe if we'd have stayed up that year, then this club will be so much stronger now. Honestly, I think that relegation and you know, Thomas having to come in and rebuild and everything, I think if we'd have stayed in the Championship, I think we'd still be there now.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you make of the goings on that season? There was so much going on behind the scenes.
It was crazy because obviously knowing Bob as a player like we did, and he really galvanised the club again. He got the fans back inside. He got that will of Charlton fans when to come back. I thought that some of the football he played at times with his diamond formation was great, and exactly what Kerb said there. I believe the club was going to become an established Championship club again, with the hope of being able to move on again.
You wrote a book, didn't you? How did you find the process?
Well, I didn't write it. I actually had a writer, but you know, talking to him and going over things, and and sort of recounting, and you know, sometimes you forget some of the things that had happened, and but no, it's a difficult. It ain't easy to do it. I mean, I don't know about Jen, how she said about it, but you know, I had a little bit of help, but it's nice, isn't it, to get your thoughts down on paper and for people to appreciate it, which I hope they do with the book. You know, since we've been doing this TV, that's about the time that, you know, Bo and, you know, pandemic and the owners and the new owners, so much upheaval here, when really it was quite stable, you know, when I was around and etc.
That's your next book, about Charlton TV and behind the scenes. Look, a big thanks to Jen anyway, especially for sponsoring tonight's production. So thank you very much. As we saw earlier, supporters can purchase the book from all good bookstores. By the way, Dave has just WhatsApped in. Dave from Spain.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so he said there's a new member of their Charlton Scooter Club. Remember the scooters?
Yeah, 2 scooters.
Who's also called Dave. I think that's about 4 Daves now.
There's loads of Daves in there, weren't there? Are they in the pub now?
I think, I don't know. Would Dave, you in the pub? What's up? let us know who you win. OK, we're going to head back pitch side now to Charlotte, who spoke to women's defender Alicia and Dow ahead of the game on Sunday here at the Valley against Birmingham.
Thank you again, Scott. I am delighted to be joined by defender Alicia Nadal. First things first, welcome to the football club. You've joined us on loan. How are you finding your feet at the Valley?
Yeah, I'm loving it. I've been here for about, almost 2 months now. I'm having a great time. All the girls are great, so I'm enjoying it massively.
And the team has played 2 games, 3 points under our belt so far, a win, a loss, scored 5 goals. What are your early impressions about what this squad can go on to achieve this season?
I think not even just from games, but from training. Like, we've got a great squad. I think we can achieve great things, but I think it's about taking each game as it comes. So we came into the Southampton game, obviously was happy to get the 3 points. The results didn't go our way against London City, but it's all about building onto the next games.
And the next game is going to be here at the Valley. I mean, the pitch is looking wonderful, even on a drab evening. How excited are you and the girls to be playing on this pitch on Sunday?
Yeah, I think everyone's happy. Like, it's a beautiful pitch, so I think it'll be good to come here, get the ball down and play some football, which is what we like to do. So, yeah, it'll be exciting. And
the team's going to be playing at the Valley a number of times this season. Can you explain the significance about being able to play in stadiums? And is it something that you and your teammates talk about at the training ground at all?
Yeah, I think obviously being able to play here, it shows the backing that we've got from the club. So that's the best part about it. And then also it can attract more fans. It will allow more people to come in and watch us. So I think that's great.
And you've joined us on loan from Aston Villa, so I want to tap into your local knowledge because we host Birmingham. They've come down from the Women's Super League. Going to be a tough opponent. What are you expecting?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game. Obviously, they've come down from the Super League. They've got a lot of players with experience from the Super League and from the Championship. I think it's going to be tough, but I think we can, if we go out there and play how we can play, then it should be a good game. Yeah.
And with any Addicks supporters tuned in who perhaps don't have any plans for Sunday afternoon, what words of encouragement would you give them to come down and support you and the girls?
Get down to the Valley. It's going to be a great afternoon. Yeah, just come down.
It will be a fantastic advert for the FA Women's Championship, I'm sure, Scott. Back over to you in the studio.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, great to hear from Alicia there. Don't forget, try and show your support, as they were saying there, for the women's side by being here at the Valley on Sunday. Take on Birmingham, are freshly relegated from the WSL, for what promises to be a very exciting match. Tickets are priced at just £10 for adults, £5 concessions. You can get yours online by visiting booking.cafc.co.uk, by phone, or by visiting the Valley's ticket office in person. Look, it really is a crucial time in the women's game. Please come and show your support if you can. I'm sure Karen Hills and her side would really appreciate it. OK, back to the men's side now, and the Addicks made it 8 summer signings last week and brought back a former academy graduate. Let's hear from defender Terrell Thomas now.
T, after 5 years away, you're back at Charlton. How pleased are you to be back?
No, I'm really pleased, yeah, really pleased to be back. It's good to see things have changed a bit around here, and the facilities for the first team and everyone is looking really good. Yeah, I'm really pleased to be back, to be fair. Want to get in the team and finally make that first team appearance for Charlton, which was something that as a boy growing up through the academy was, I could say, was a dream of mine to do.
Before you left us in 2017, you were in the academy for a long time, as you say. The opportunity to come back and to achieve that goal that you say of playing for the first team, which yeah, you mentioned you've had for a long time, was that a real pull for you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely was. Obviously, it's a club that I know, like I've known, and I know the expectations of everyone and what everyone wants, where they want the club to be. So it's something that I couldn't say no to, really.
And you've obviously been back in for the last couple of weeks training on a sort of a trial, if you like. Is it almost strange in a way that you're coming somewhere for a trial that you're actually very familiar with?
Yeah, maybe the first day or so, it's like, oh, it's just back to familiar sort of grounds. But you don't really, when you're training and that, you don't really think, personally, I don't think, oh, I was on a trial, or just go out there, enjoy myself, just play football as I know, and we'll see what happens. And I'm glad that at the end of it, it's ended in me signing back with Charlton.
And what have you made of the last couple of weeks? What do you make of your now new teammates?
Oh, really good. It's a good group. I like the style of play that the manager is trying to implement with the squad. The morale around the team is really good. The togetherness and the collectiveness about the squad is probably up there with one of the best I've seen, and that's something that you can't make happen. If you've got that, it's a plus. It really helps the squad because you can pull through and everyone can pull their own weight, which I can see that we've got that thing about us, this squad, and it's a really tough quality to find, but if you've got it, it's precious.
And since you've been away, you've gained a hell of a lot of experience at non-league level, at this level, League One, and at Championship level as well. How important are those, or have those experiences been for you?
Oh, very important. It's moulded and shaped me as a player and as a person, I would say. There's been ups and downs in those years, but that's any player will tell you that's just how football is. But it's really helped me to gain experience, progress my game, and become a better player.
And if you look back to 2017 when you left Charlton and fast forward to now, given those experiences that you've had, how much do you think that you've changed? Not obviously you've aged 5 years, but how much do you think you've changed as a footballer?
In terms of change, I feel like I'm the same player, but in terms of experience and knowing how to play the games and defending properly in certain situations, and as a young boy you sort of get lost in how you want to do things, but understand that you have to follow what the team does, and being on the side of putting the team first, you understand? Because sometimes when you're young, you just think, oh, I want to do this and do this and do this, but the team comes first, and that's really something that I've learned.
And you've been back with us for the last 3 weeks or so, as we've said. Are you fit? Are you ready to go if
yeah,
called upon?
I feel fit, yeah. I feel fit, ready to go. Obviously, the match fitness isn't 100%. No one can get match fitness without playing matches. So, yeah, I think I'm there and thereabouts. If I was called upon, I believe I'll be ready and give my all and go from there.
And that childhood dream of yours that we spoke about a minute ago of playing for Charlton's first team is back within touching distance. I mean, how excited are you about, hopefully in the next few weeks, pulling on that first team shirt?
Yeah, no, really excited, really excited. I am. Obviously, when you're in the academy and that, we have to go to every home game, so you know what it's like at the Valley and the Drum, and something that I really thought would be exciting, playing in front of those group of fans. So something where I know the expectations, and I know what is needed to give and what they want from their players.
He seems a very thoughtful guy, doesn't he? Very considered guy. experienced at 26, I think it's 27 next month. Centre-back was one of the positions that we were looking at, as well as striker, Kerps. So is that a position that we needed strengthening?
Yeah, absolutely. They're the two positions for me. And, you know, looking at it now, Ryan's stayed fit, so Lavelle comes back out, and, you know, and so we've got a bit of backup. We didn't get the striker, but Miles is going to be given a game tonight. I think we said it a couple of weeks ago, you know, when Claydon played and whatever. It's great for the academy, and you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing Miles. I think we've seen him in glimpses, but let's have a look at him tonight.
Absolutely. I'm sure Terrell, released in 2017, will be absolutely delighted he's back, and determined even more so to get back into the Charlton, or get into the Charlton first team. The lads are coming out. Not a lot of people here at the Valley, Kerps, are there? But you've got to generate your own atmosphere, and that lad there, he'll be up for this one, won't he?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great, isn't it? We said when Claydon played the other week that you know, when he went into training the next day, I think all the academy boys should clap him in. You know, and Ben's not been afraid to put him in, has he? Let's be honest.
No, he's not. Force, you remember making your full league debut?
Yeah, we spoke about it a little earlier.
Who was it against again?
The boss threw me on at half-time against Duncan Ferguson and Kevin Campbell against Everton.
Did he? All the best.
Go enjoy yourself, young man.
Sink or swim, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to see Payne. Yeah. Because I think he's shown in glimpses that he's a decent player. And I think Ben has made brave decisions. He must have been really upset with the Bolton performance, and it's quite exciting, I think. Corey Blackett and Raksaki on either side of Miles. That's quick.
Richard Chin just behind Jack as well.
Yeah.
Another young lad in that left back position.
It's very mobile side. It's a mobile side.
Yeah. But is that what you want? Is that what you're thinking, Forge, in terms of young, energetic, maybe not being scared?
Yeah, obviously when you're younger, you've got less fear in you. So like the way the boss wants to play, the new manager, the football he wants to play, he's going to need them young legs around. I just think you can't let a team like Forest Green just grow in any sort of confidence. So if you can put them on the back foot from early, our boys can grow in confidence and as I said, put them to bed.
OK, with the two managers shaking hands, and there will be a minute's silence before the kick-off. Let's get to our commentary team, shall we? A big game for a lot of lads, including Richard as well. All the very best. Terry Smith, Greg Stubley and Stevie Brown.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Kerps. Thank you, Forge. Good to see Forge back at the Valley. Yes, alongside me is Stevie Brown, and we'll get to Steve very shortly. Before that happens, two captains are going to toss the coin to find out the ends and who has the kick-off. And then, of course, we will observe a moment of silence, and I will hand you over to Brian when that happens, because sadly, of course, as we all know, in the recent past we have lost our Queen, Her Majesty Elizabeth.
Everybody connected to Charlton Athletic was truly saddened to learn of the passing of Her Majesty, the Queen Elizabeth II, at the age of 96. Over a 70-year reign, Her Majesty served the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth with distinction. The thoughts of everybody at Charlton Athletic are with the royal family at this sad time. Today, we pay tribute to Queen Elizabeth II and ask you to join us in observing a minute's silence in her memory, which will start and end on the referee's whistle. Upon the end of the silence, we will then invite you to join in with the national anthem. Thank you.
hairs on the back of the neck stuck here at the Valley as we pay homage to Queen Elizabeth II, who sadly and recently passed, and then pay homage to our future king. Alongside me, Steve Brown, in a game that's sponsored by the Year of the Robin book, which is available from all good bookstores. It's Stevie Brown. And Steve, before we get underway, we've rung the changes, Ben Garner, for tonight's game after the defeat at Bolton. Is that something, as a manager, you're not